we go. We started up the live stream. So we are live, guys. We are live again, and yep, we are live again. So I hope so that I am visible. I hope so that I am visible. I am audible. You are able to hear me nicely. If you have any issues with the mic or anything, please let me know, guys. I am right here. Okay. So let us start the session. Shall we? Yes. So hey guys, welcome back to Coders Arcade. This is Ashank David, and in this live session, this is going to be our 31st live session, and this is gonna be the start of the end of the DSA placement series. Now we have our main concept as graphs, and in the graph data structure we need to first understand a few things before we go ahead and do graphs, and that is gonna be a little bit of STL, because STL here we are going to use a lot of times when we were dealing with the graph concepts. So we have to talk about that. So let us, without any further ado, let's get right into the topic. But before I start with that video, I would like to ask you people to please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon also, so that you won't miss any future updates. Also share this live stream as much as possible, guys, because those people who are also learning all for free, they want to learn DSA for free, they also can learn DSA for free. So everyone should watch this video, guys. Now let me just tell you about what we are going to do in today's class. In today's session, we are going to talk about vectors concept. Vectors, it is a part of STL. So today I will explain you a little bit of what is STL and what are vectors and how they are used for in doing many different tasks. And yeah, so this is gonna be the start of the end. Basically, after doing some part of the STL, in today's class I'll explain you about vectors. In tomorrow's class, tomorrow is Sunday, day after tomorrow, in the next class I will be explaining you about the map, unordered map or map. People say hash map, and I'll tell you the importance of it. Well, C++ doesn't have the concept of hash map, but I'll tell you about what is it, what is the fuss all about. We are going to talk about each and everything in our STL sessions. So stay tuned, guys, for more such content, and don't forget to like and share this live stream for the sake of those people who also really needs to see this live stream. And for the sake of engagement, let us like and hit the subscribe button right down there. Everything will be provided in the link, and don't forget to join our Telegram channel as well. Now, a lot of introduction is being done already. Now, let us start the class, guys. So, good evening first of all, everyone. We are here in live session 31st, and here we are there for the vectors. Now, you might think, what the hell is this code for vector? First, let us understand what exactly is vectors, right? So, I'll open up my Microsoft whiteboard, which is a blackboard right now, okay, and we are going to start the concept. Alright, guys. So here in today's class, actually we want to do what? We want to do ultimately graph data structure. We want graph data structure. What do we want? We want graph data structure. But the thing is, to start or go and deal with graphs, you need vectors. You need maps, you need a little bit of STL. Understand my point? So we are going to start with this concept here, which is going to be vectors today. Okay, guys, we are going to start with vectors. Rajesh, how are you, sir? I am good. I am absolutely fine. I hope so that you are also fine. All the people watching this stream, I hope so that you guys are also fine. Without any further ado, let's get right in the concept. Okay. So here we are talking about vectors now. So what exactly is vector? You might have worked around with arrays. Yes, if you are doing DSA, then it is not possible that you haven't done arrays till now. You must have done arrays. I hope so that you have done it. right? Usually, what is the issue with the arrays? Let us talk about that. And guys, again I'm saying camera can shut down in between. So, I'll just put up a button right here. I'll just click onto that button and yeah, now we are back. I'm the alone person who is operating the camera all by itself. Okay, yeah. So, Ayush sir, will you also cover unordered map? Yes, in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow in the sense Monday's class. The next session of DSA 32, DSA session 32, I'll be covering ordered maps, unordered maps, all those things. Yes, Ayush, I will be covering. Before that, today I wanted to explain you about the vectors, because both of them, vector and maps, will be used extensively for graphs data structure. So, let's start, right? And let's get ahead and start this. Okay, so guys, we are talking about vectors. So, first of all, understand what exactly is a vector. What exactly is a vector? So, let's start. Speaking of vectors, we are talking about vectors. What are vectors? Now, you might have gone through DSA a lot and you might have heard about the concept of arrays. Now, everyone knows about arrays. If you don't know about the arrays, probably you are a very hello sir, Ronnie plays, hello, hi Ronnie plays, hi. So, basically if you have not heard about arrays, then you are not doing programming or you are not serious about programming. So, arrays is this, correct? And today we are talking about vectors. So, you have already heard about arrays, right? Array is what? It is a collection of, collection of homogeneous set of data. What is it? An array is a homogeneous set of data. We already know about this. And how does it look like? It look like this. Where we are storing the elements into the vector like this. The indexes starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone knows about this very well. Now, what is the problem with the array? Size is the problem. Size is always fixed. So, fixed size, there is no doubt about it. Those people who have learnt about arrays, they all know that the size of the array is always fixed. Understood? This is a big issue. So, in the case of this, when we are having an array, and let us say in this array, if the numbers are set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I say that I want to add 6 in between 2 and 3, then there will be a whole lot of problem doing that. Meaning that you have to shift the elements right like this towards outside, which will result in what? Deleting the last element, because all the elements will be pushed to this side, and when this will happen, what will happen? It will be pushed towards this side and the last element will get deleted. Also, you need to write extra lines of code to do so, which is a very hectic job. So, we don't like arrays. What do we like? We like vectors. What is a vector? Vector is dynamic array, guys. What is a vector? Vector is dynamic array. Always remember this. Vector is very important if you want to solve a problem like graph, or if you want to solve the very first problem of lead code, that is two-sum problem. You need vectors to solve it. I hope so that this is very much clear. So, in today's class, we are going to explore the fascinating world of vectors, guys, and understand each and every concepts in depth. We are going to divide the concepts of vector into 4 parts, and let me explain you how. So, let me just, if it allows me to go down like this, okay, alright. So, ultimately we have understood vectors, that vectors are dynamic arrays. With dynamic arrays with infinite size. Okay, dynamic arrays of infinite size. Stores homogeneous, stores homogeneous data is stored. It stores homogeneous data, of course, because it is basically a type of an array only. It is array only, guys. It is very simple. It is array. People think that vectors is a very difficult concept. No, vectors is not a difficult concept. They thought that vector is something, a very complicated or fascinating thing, but it is a array of infinite size, basically, in simple terms, in simple language. That vector is what? It is an infinite size array, basically. Okay. Speaking of infinite size array, it can store n number of elements. It can store n number of elements. Remember, the index, just like array, starts from 0. Now, you might have a doubt that if it is an array, does the index start from the 0? Yes, index is also start from the 0 in terms of vector, guys. I hope so that this is also very much clear. Let us talk about arrays, vectors, and let's discuss about those 4 things. So, what are those 4 things? The 4 things that we are going to talk about is, actually we are going to talk about vector functions. Vector functions, guys. Vector functions are the important thing here, okay? And vector functions can be categorized into 4 parts. Number 1, vector iterators, okay? Then number 2, vector element access. Number 3, vector capacity functions. And number 4, vector modifiers. These are the 4 things that you should know. Understood this, guys? Okay. So, let us talk about one by one all of these. First, let us talk about iterators. Before I say into anything, let me just open the editor, or in the editor I have already written the code. Let us do one thing. Let us go ahead and first understand how you will create a vector. What is the syntax? You see, the syntax of the vector is, first of all, you start by including the hash include vector. Now, guys, as I told you, first of all, where did the vector came from? Vector came from STL. What is STL? STL stands for standard template library. Standard template library, guys. Always remember this. Very important, guys, standard template library. Now, you might think, what the hell is this? Was this in C? No, this was not in C. This is specifically, we are talking about C++, guys. So, in this case, what happens is that in C++, so in C, what you used to do? In C, everything was created from the scratch itself, and when you did this, what happened there? The code becomes so much complicated, your code becomes so much lengthy, that it became very much difficult for all of us to write, and that is the reason why people started hating C. That is the reason why then when C++ was developed, the concept like a standard template library was introduced into it, and a lot of things like you have vectors, maps, okay, you have pairs, then you have inbuilt data structure, okay, were all present at one place inside this standard template library. which allowed you to directly import those things and use them into your program. In a simple language, STL stands for Standard Template Library, and this standard template library allows you to use all the inbuilt features like vectors, maps, inbuilt data structures like stacks or queues or linked list. Yes guys, you heard it right. I said inbuilt data structures means what? All the inbuilt data structures, like all the regular data structures that you have learnt till now guys, are all available in their inbuilt forms. Yes, I am correct. Yes, you heard me right. You have learnt till now stacks, you have learnt queues, you have learnt linked list, you have learnt whatever. Every single data, not every single, but most of the data structures that you have talked about right now in the syllabus have all of their inbuilt versions of them, which is stored inside STL for you to use it. So yes, you don't have to include the whole, you don't have to write the whole data structures implementation again and again. You can just import it, and yes, you can use it directly. How? By using the preprocessor directive. Which one? File inclusion preprocessor directive guys. So here I'll say first hash include and then I'll say vector. So this is what you need to do first before you use them. Any STL library which you want to use, you have to include it using hash include, which allows us to easily maintain and do the things very easily. Now the question is, you have included it. How do you create a vector inside the program? Let us talk about that. So after you have included the vectors, what you need to do is now you need to create it. How to create it? You will say vector, and then in the angular brackets you will give the data type here. You will give the data type. This data type can be int, it can be float, it can be double, it can be class variable or class object or etc, etc, anything basically. It can be anything, okay. And here, right here, you will write the name of the vector you are trying to create. In this case, let us say V is the name of our vector, and there you go. I hope so that this is very much clear. This is how you create a vector. Now, if you want to create a vector, let us say we'll create a vector of numbers. So I'll say vector, after of course including the vectors, I'll say vectors, and then I'll say the data type, which is, let's say, int, and then I'll continue. I hope so that this is absolutely clear to every single one of you in the class. And here I'll just say the name V. Got it guys? So this is how you will create and use vectors. Okay. Now creating and implementing a vector is done. Let us talk about some of its uses. And what are those uses? That we will talk about in the vector functions. Now basic thing that you will first of all doing after creating the vector, let's say I have created the vector saying hash include, I said vector, and after this I said in the int main I have said, like, whatever, you are able to understand what I am trying to say, right? I am not writing everything here. I am just directly saying, and the program you said vector of type int, and you gave the name of the vector as V. Now how would you put the elements into it? Let's say you want to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the elements of the vector all together once. So to do this, there is a function called as, we will say next line, v dot, we will say v dot, I'll say push back, v dot push back. Yes, we have a function called as pushback, which allows us to store any type of data. I will say pushback of 1, and this will push this one into the vector. Understood my point? Then I will say v dot pushback 2. This will push 2 in the vector. Similarly, v dot pushback till 5, and it will push the all elements inside the vector like this. Push back, push the element to the back of the array, which you already have understood. I hope so that this is very much clear. Now we are going to divide this whole concept into 4 parts, and let us talk about them one by one. The very first concept that we are talking about is vector iterators. What is the meaning of iterators? Iterators are those things which travel along in the particular collection. Vector is a type of a collection, right? So I can iterate over it. Iteration means traveling or covering a lot of things. So what do? We will iterate over the vector, and my camera went off, which is coming back right now again. Yeah. So we are going to iterate over the vector, guys, and we are going to do anything. So in this case, we have vectors, iterators. Vector iterators are begin, end, C begin, C end, R begin, C begin is done, R end. R begin is done, R end is there. R end, then you have CR begin, and then you have CR end. Now you might think, what exactly is I'm talking about? What exactly is this and what I am talking about here? Correct? So let us talk about that. In this case, these are the iterators which we use. Most of them are useless. You don't have to worry about any of them. Okay. What you need to only mainly work around is begin and end. Let us talk about that with the help of a program. So guys, how do you create a vector? First of all, you say hash include IOStream, that is fine. Okay, then you say hash include vector. I hope so that this is very much clear. So after you have included the vector, how do you create it? In the using namespace, and in the main function you start by creating vector of type int, as you have already understood how I am able to do this, guys. Okay, so I said vector of type int g1. Now g1 here is the name of the vector, guys. Okay, guys, very easy. Same program is you will find the same program over the internet also. Okay, guys, vector int g1. Okay, here first of all we are iterating from 1 to 5, and then we are pushing back all the elements into that particular thing. So I said int I equals to 1 and go till less than or equals to 5, and then I plus plus, and then push back that I. What this does is that it will start from 1, it will push back 1, 2, push back 2, push 3, push back 3, 4, push back 4, 5, push back 5. Like this it will happen, and the vector will be all filled up from 1 to 5. Hope so that this is clear. Now after this we will create a for loop like this, and we will start iterating. Now remember, iterators can be iterated inside the for loop. So I am going to use the iterators to start the for loop. So I said for auto I in equals to g1 dot begin. So because g1 is the name of the array, the vector, and dot begin is the iterator. So this is how you used it. Okay, and then I is not equals to, so keep on running until I doesn't becomes end. So begin is the starting point of the vector and end is the ending point of the vector. I hope so that this is very much clear. And then I plus plus or plus plus I, whatever. I hope so that this is very much clear. Now people might ask, sir, what the hell is this auto here? Auto here, because we are using an iterator, we don't know what kind of value a iterator can return. We used auto. When you are not sure about what value you are working with in the iterator, you can use auto. Auto will automatically iterate over anything. Over anything, guys. So you don't have to write specifically int or float. If it is any type of data, it will be automatically taken care of using auto. I hope so that this is also very much clear to all of you. Okay. So begin and end is the first and the last element inside that vector. Then you have C begin, and one more thing, in the body of this, you see what I am printing? I am printing star I, because iterator will give you an iterator will give you what? An iterator will give you the address of that particular index. So we need to dereference it, a pointer to the particular index. We need to dereference it, and to dereference it we use star I. I hope so that this is also very much clear to all of you. Similarly, in this case we have used C begin and C end. Now what is C begin and C end? C begin stands for constant begin and C end stands for constant end, just making the values constant. Nothing happens, everything remains the same, just it's like that you cannot just change the value of the iterator, because it's a constant, that's it, nothing else. Then you have R begin and R end, means reverse begin and reverse end. So now begin will be the end will be begin and begin will be end. Are you getting my point? How silly this is, but this is totally useless. You will never use this in your life. I hope so that this is very much clear. So here R begin means the end one, reverse begin means the last one, and R end means the first one. Understood? Totally useless, you will never use them. Then you have CR begin, constant reverse begin. You have CR end, constant reverse end, totally off, no use, it is useless, don't use this. You only have to use, if you will use, by the way, in future, then use only begin and end, that's enough. That's enough, and you don't have to worry about any other thing. I hope so that this is very, very much clear to all of you guys. Okay, and well, this is your iterators. I hope so this is very much clear to all of you. Moving on to the next one, and the next one is gonna be our element access. Element access. Let's see what it is all about. So we are gonna talk about how the elements are accessed inside the vector. Now once you have set it up the vector, you have put it up all the elements into the vector, you have whatever iterators are over. So if you want to use, you use iterators, if not, then it's up to you. Next thing, very important thing that you will be keep on using it is going to be the element access. Element access functions are the functions which allows us and shows us how to access the elements inside the vector. Those are called as element access functions of the vector. How to access the elements in the vector which is already created. I hope so that this is very much clear. So how do we access it? So you see that as usual we have created the vector G1, pushed all the elements. This time we have pushed from 1 to 10, and now if I want to get the second element, third element, then in that case I will use the reference operator. This square brackets is the reference operator. Like how you access the element inside the array, same thing. Write the name of the array which is G1 right now, and in the square bracket give the index, and this will give you the third element, because indexes starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2 means the third element 3 will be printed. Hope so that this is very much clear to all of you. Then you have dot at. If you don't have to use that, then you can use dot at. So dot at, and directly you can give the index and it will tell you about that. Understood? Same thing. Then dot front is the it's not an iterator, but it is element access which will access the frontmost element, and if you say whatever in this, it will only be used for accessing the frontmost element, that's it. Okay. Then you have back for the last element, and that's all guys. You don't have to worry about any of this thing. This is just dot data, and here we are just printing it directly, its position, that's it. So we have taken in the position and then we are printing the data, and that's it. To pointer to the first element, that's it. This is element access guys. So that's all. These are the functions which we use for element access. You don't have to worry about anything. It will be directly be used. Understood this, guys? Yes. Very simple, very easy to use. We have done two things, element access and iterators. The next thing is gonna be capacity. Capacity functions are some of them are very useful, some of them are very useless. Why? Let me explain you about what I'm talking about. In this case, we are going to talk about vector capacity functions. So here we have hash include vector, and as usual, as always, we are creating the vector G1, and here I am pushing back the 5 elements. As you can see already, here I have pushed 5 elements, guys. There are many different capacity functions like size, then you have capacity, max size, then you have shrink to fit, you have in place, you have insert, you have replace, you have size, a lot of different capacity function. Now, what are these used for? Of course, as they say capacity function, these functions are used to tell about the capacity of the vector, capacity related functions like size or something like that. I hope so that this is also very much clear. So, if I say here cout size g1.size will give you the size, and my camera is also off, which I almost forget about again and again, and we are back, guys. So, here size, and I will say g1.size, this will return the size of the vector, the current size of the vector, guys. I hope so that this is very much clear. Okay. What is the current size of the vector? It is 5. Understood my point? If I run this code and show it to you, you will understand what I am trying to say. So, what is the size? The size is 5. Hope so that this is very much clear. Now, as we are understanding it one by one, I will keep on explaining you all the items one by one. Okay. So, this is the size. Then we have capacity. What is capacity? Capacity here, now listen to this very carefully. Capacity, we are just directly printing G1's capacity, and when we run this, it prints the capacity to be 8. Understood my point? This 8. So, what exactly is this 8? Listen to this very carefully, guys. Capacity of a vector tells about the extra memory which is allocated before time, so that when the next set of elements they enter in the vector, the time taken by the allocation of the memory is cut. Understood my point, what I am trying to say? Capacity is the amount of extra space being already allocated before time, so that when the new elements come to the vector, we do not have to waste a time in allocating the memory for them. So, this is for future purpose. Capacity is that right now, without allocating the memory, I can enter 8 elements in total, through which 5 elements are already being filled. So, we are left with 6, 7, 8, 3 elements. I hope so that this is very much clear. So, here the capacity is coming as 8, that means 3 more elements have extra space allocated for them. So, for the next 3 set of elements, we do not have to allocate the memory, and this will automatically increase. So, if I enter more values, it will automatically increase and we do not have to worry. I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you. 8 will become 16. So, it will multiply, the capacity will keep on multiplying. So, it starts from 2, 4, 8, 16, then you have 32, then 64, then 128, then 512, like that. I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you. Clear, guys? Understood this? So, like that. So, it will keep on multiplying it, and this is gonna be the capacity of a particular vector. I hope so that this is also absolutely clear to all of you. Without allocating the space for the future upcoming elements can be inserted, yes, and it will grow exponentially. This is what you call as capacity. So, currently there are 5 elements. So, according to the 5 elements, 8 bits of space is allocated in the vector right now. So, no worries, no problem. 8 elements of space is allocated already. Okay, guys. Apart from this, next we have max size. Max size will print a very big number, you see. It prints this big number. Okay, what is this big number? It is not a garbage value, guys, but it is a theoretical limit of this vector can hold these many elements. So, this is the theoretical limit, just theoretical, not practical limit. This is just a theoretical limit of till where this vector can be used to store the elements into it. I hope so that this is very much clear. So, you will never use this. I do not think so that you will be using this anywhere, not even inside DSA. Alright guys, I hope so that this is very much clear. So, these are the three basic ones. Now, we will move on to resize. You already know what is resize. So, resize will resize the original vector and will resize it to 4 means 5, it will reduce 1, and what will happen, that will easily be done. Then we have the size, we have checked the size, of course, 4 will be printed now, and we have dot is empty. So, is empty is set to false, and if it is saying is empty, the vector, it is not empty, then vector is not empty, otherwise it is empty. So, these are some of this. Shrink to fit, we have to shrink the capacity till that particular case. So, for example, when I am running this, what happens is that first size was 5, capacity was 8, max size was this, we resized it to 4, but the vector is not empty and vector elements were this, and capacity was still 8. So, when we used shrink to fit, automatically the capacity also reduced down to the particular element. I hope so that this is also very much clear to all of you without any issues, without any problems. I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you guys. Alright, this is your capacity functions guys, that is all. You do not have to worry much about it. Lastly, we have vector modifier functions. What do we have? Vector modifiers. Vector modifiers. What are these modifier functions? So, modifier functions are those functions which modify the vector, which edit the vector or modify the vector, and that is the reason why they are called as modifiers functions. Good example is pushback. I already told you about pushback. Pushback will push the elements at the back of the vector. So, what it becomes? It becomes a vector modifier function. Of course, pushback is a vector modifier function. I hope so that this is also very much clear now to everyone. Okay guys. So, here we have a hash include vectors, creating a vector, and then I said that v dot assign is also a you say vector modifier which assigns the vector. See, this is gonna fill the vector 10 with 10 5 times. So, this is the size of the vector. If you want, you can give the size also. If you do not want, you can just skip the size also. When we will start with the graph concept, I will explain you about how this is done actually. Okay. Then this is assign, which will assign the particular value those many number of times. Hope so that this is very much clear. So, the vector elements are this, okay, that is fine. We have used pushback. So, pushback, then we have checked the size. Pushback is the inserts the particular element at the last of the position inside the vector. So, this is also a vector modifier guys. Then we have pop back, like we have pushback, we have pop back. Pop back means delete from the back side. We do not have pop front or push front, because remember it is still an array. The only thing is that you can do it infinite times. So, you cannot push any element in the front directly like that. It is by default push back. Okay. So, yeah, that is it. We have the insert function. You already know how to use insert function. We just give the iterator and then we write the element. Let us say suppose from the begin you need plus 3 elements to be inserted as 5. So, 5 was inserted in between of the vector. So, this is possible, but this is not possible in arrays, but this is now possible with the help of vector. I hope so that this is also very much clear to all of you. So, there is also a multidimensional vector. Yes, we have multidimensional vector. Yes, D Ayush, yes, we have multidimensional vector. I will tell you about that. I will not tell you about that in today's class. Take it till here only. Okay, take it till this much. In the next class or in the day before, day after tomorrow, I will tell you, day after Monday I will tell you, on Tuesday, when we will start with the graphs. At that time I will explain you how to create multidimensional vector, or maybe next class I will tell you about it. As of now, keep it till here only. I don't want you to get confused with any of the stuff here, because that stuff will become very different. I'll have to take another whole class onto it, and so for that we will have a separate class, and today's time threshold limit is going to get exceeded, and for that reason I am gonna teach that in the next session. I don't want to stretch the class to 2 hours, 3 hours, and of course for obvious reasons this is YouTube, and I don't want to, audience retention is also a thing. You can already see the audience retention, how bad the audience retention is right now, and already I am just trying to finish everything in just 1 hour. So that is the issue. This is YouTube, and I cannot just go ahead and just like stretch the whole video for 5 hours. Nobody will watch that. So that's the reason we have taken the threshold limit as 1 hour. So whatever we can do in 1 hour, we will do it. But don't worry, I will teach about multidimensional vectors absolutely, because that is how we are gonna use stuff. Some things I'll tell you about in graphs using multidimensional vectors. So some point of time you will have to do it. I hope so that this is very much clear. In graphs we will use it, so I'll teach you about that. So don't worry. Okay, guys. Insert, and then here we have erase to remove any particular element. Erase doesn't means it will empty the array. No, erase will not delete the whole element, the whole array, but erase will remove a particular element. So begin element is erased, or if you say begin plus 3, then that first the third element or the fourth element, depending upon the iterator, how many times you have incremented the iterator, that will depend how much, what value gets radiated. So erase means particular erase. Okay, but clear on the other hand will delete the whole array. So we have a function called as clear, dot clear. This will clear the whole vector. I hope so that this is very much clear. We have emplace and emplace back. Emplace means, of course, the insert, same thing, insert only. What insert does is very similarly, emplace also does the same exact thing. Emplace back means again push back. I hope so that this is very much clear. So basically insert at the back side. It does the same exact job as pushback, but it's an extra function for you to use, which has something else which you don't have to worry about. And in the main function directly I have just created the vector and pushed all these things, and you have just printed it like that. Nothing much in this program, guys. I hope so that this is very much clear. So this was vectors. I hope so that this is very much clear and you have understood all the concepts right here. About the multidimensional vectors, I will cover that in the next class, guys, because time threshold is already passed and this is YouTube. We cannot stretch the videos, otherwise audience retention is already bad and it will become even more bad. Okay, guys. I'll give you a hint how multidimensional vector works. Multidimensional vectors, for the teaser of the class, for the next class, teaser I can give you a little bit. That is gonna be multidimensional vectors are also available. How to create them? So how do you create a normal vector? You just say vector of type int, correct, and you give this v, correct. Now if you want to create a multi-dimensional vector, then if you want to create that, how would you do that? Rather than passing int here, what do you will pass? Inside the angular brackets you will pass another vector, vector of type int, like this. I hope so that this is very much clear to D Ayush, right? D Ayush, you asked this doubt. I hope so that this is very much clear, that if I want to create a two-dimensional vector, I can create it by writing, say, vectors of type another vector of type int. So integer not only is taken for the inner vector, but also will be taken as the data type for the outer vector. Why? Because automatically vectors are homogeneous. You cannot put different kind of data. Okay, I'll tell you how to play with the multidimensional vector in the next class. Now next class, guys, will happen on Monday. And from Monday guys, I will be traveling to some other place. So I'll not be available like how I'm standing and teaching you right now like this guys. I'll be on my laptop, my face you can see in the face cam below in the right corner of the screen, you will be able to see my face, and I'll just explain it over the notepad like that in handwriting. Okay guys, so from Monday onwards for 1 week I'll continue the series in that fashion, but every day I will come live. Don't worry about, I'm not gonna skip any class. Every day I'll come live, okay, but my way of teaching will be a little bit different. Don't worry, quality, we are not compromising with the quality, nor we are not talking about quantity here guys. Now we are mostly working with the quality. So don't worry guys, trust me, you already know me, how I teach. So those people who really understand how the way I teach, please do come and watch our live session from Monday onwards. Again, the timing for the Monday's live session, we can keep it as, what time shall we keep it? Morning I'll be taking class. In the evening we can keep the live session, and the live session can be either at 6 o'clock or either at 7 o'clock, or in fact either at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, either in the night. In the morning I will be going to the class. I have college in the place where I am going. So I will not be available directly in the morning guys, but I will be available after 4:30. Yes, 4:30 I'll be available, but I don't know, I'm not sure about it guys, but yeah, don't worry, I'll be coming live, okay, don't worry, I'll be coming live. I'll be taking class, yes, and it will be usually at around 6 or 7. It will be either at around 6 or 7. I will let you know by Monday only, because when I'll schedule it, you will get to know, and scheduling will happen on just before the time I will be coming. So be alert. I'm going to teach multi-dimensional vectors at that day, and then I'll start by maps. Understand our point? Maps concept that is going to be next in the STL live session. Also, one more thing, I have not completed this. Yeah, you have to give the name also, V. Alright, don't forget the name. I just saw it, I have not written it. But I hope so this is very much clear. Monday I am not available in my office. Monday I am traveling to some place. So Monday whenever I will be coming live, I will be coming live in the evening session only. In morning I have class, evening session I will be coming. So evening 1 hour I need to adjust somehow in my schedule. So either 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 Indian Standard Time in the evening guys. 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. IST Indian Standard Time. I will be back again with you guys for session number 32 of this playlist for DSA live session for placements, and my camera is about to get switch off. So let me just click that button as well, otherwise my camera will be off. Okay. Understood this guys? So I'll be live on Monday. I'll continue from the 2-dimensional array guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let us start our doubt session now. So if you have any doubts, please do let me know right here. If you don't have any doubts, I'm gonna close this live stream. So I am able to see your live chat, so you can chat with me directly right now. There is a huge screen in front of me through which I can look at your comments guys. So tell me, any comments, any doubts, please do let me know, and I am all here for clearing your doubts related to whatever topic we have learned today, related to vectors, or in fact for the sense any other doubt you want to ask in general, you can ask me. Any doubts guys? I'll be going. If you don't have any other doubts, hey, hit the like button on this live stream so that it supports our algorithm and it pushes our videos to more places around. hit that like button. Guys who are watching, there are 7 people concurrent watching, 9 people concurrent as concurrent viewer. Hit the like button guys right now while you are thinking about the doubt. If you don't have any doubts, I am closing this live stream. No doubts? If no doubts, thank you guys so much. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit the like button right now and don't forget to press the bell icon also so that you won't miss any future updates. Thank you guys so much for watching Coders Arcade with me for DSA live session. This is Ashank David signing off, and I'll see you guys again on Monday 7 or 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Don't forget, I'm not going anywhere, wait 2 minutes. Don't forget to follow us on Telegram. Some very nice content coming up for you on Telegram. We have started conducting interviews. So for those people who really wants placements and they want our interviews and placement opportunities, please do let us know. We have started with our a little bit of, I'm not like whole thing, but little bit of placement kind of things we are trying to get oriented towards. We are connecting with multiple companies and we will be able to provide placements also very soon, like placement assistance guys. So don't worry, I will be taking your interview first round. I will be taking the interview first round. Very soon I am going to publish some pictures of today's interviews. In the morning we had a lot of interviews. So I will be publishing those pictures on our Coders Arcade Google Google Maps, Google Photos, and I will be putting it into our YouTube community also. So go ahead and watch that. So don't forget to like that also. And for the sake of engagement guys, you put up a small emoji in the chat if you would like the stream, and that will appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that share button guys, so that this algorithm pushes us, and your love and support allows me to create more content like this guys. This is all for free. I just want a single like button and subscribe button from you guys. It will take 1 second to do that. Well, that's all guys. Thank you so much for watching this live stream. It was pleasure to have you guys in my live stream. I hope so that in today's class I was able to explain you about vectors and I was able to teach you something. So please don't forget to like. Again I'm saying, join our Telegram channel. Telegram channel is already, link is already given in the description below. So go ahead and subscribe it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the join button, our Telegram channel. I'm gonna post some placement related things over there, and probably all the notes from today's class, previous class notes are already there, so you can go ahead and watch that also. And if you haven't seen our live streams yet, please I'll ask you to go ahead and watch our live streams also for DSA. And trust me guys, whatever we are doing today, whatever we have done from past 30 classes, everything will contribute into you getting the job. So guys, keep on supporting me like this. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I don't think so that you have any doubts because no one has put up any questions in the chat. So I'll be stopping this live stream. I'll be closing this live stream. 4 views more, 2 views more, and we are shutting the live stream. But I hope so you have got my point guys for today's class. Thank you guys again watching me, and thank you guys again for being with me till the end of the live stream. I'll be switching off the live stream now. Thank you guys and take care. Happy weekend. Take care. I'll see you guys back on Monday with a new concept, with a new day. Till then, happy learning, stay safe, and I'll be seeing you again on Monday in the evening 6 or 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So don't forget it, to multidimensional vectors with maps. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye everyone.